Welcome, Noble Templar, to Week 3 of the IPL. This time, it is against the Flying Pac-Man, also known as the Colorado Cloysters, and we're going to see if we're going to win this one or not. Regardless, let's go ahead and look at the teams before we begin. Looks like he did bring the Mega Altaria, the Registeel, the Jellicent, Tauros, Sceptile, and Magnezone. Now, looking at his team, I don't feel terribly threatened. Okay, so Earthquake on Sceptile could be a bit of an issue since I have a couple of ground weaknesses, but my biggest thing is worrying about Mega Dancy. He brought two Steel types. He must have been really worried about Mega Dancy, so bringing the Steel to deal with it. That's why I have Heatran, though, just to deal with alternative Steel types, and hopefully that'll be pretty good. I did run double status on Amoonguss just because I was kind of concerned that he would bring the Chansey and I wanted to get that thing toxic, so it would either force him to switch more or just limit him in general. I also ran knockoff on Mamoswine this time around instead of Rock Slide because of that. Rock Slide would have been kind of nice, but looking at his team, he's not horribly weak to Rock. I think that's partially because of Mega Dancy as well. So regardless, let's just get right into this because I've rambled on long enough, and I tried to do the initial reaction, but unfortunately I wasn't too impressed by how it sounded, so we're doing it this way, and we're going to turn the music off. So he decided to lead with the Magnezone and the Sceptile, while I decided Mamoswine and Diancie. Now this doesn't look like too bad of a lead for me, except it kind of is because I don't want to take a Flash Cannon, and I don't want Diancie to take a lot of damage. So I decided I'm going to hard switch to Amoonguss. That way I can put the Magnezone to sleep. And also I resist the Leaf Blade, which is really nice. So not entirely bad, but I know Flash Cannon is incoming, so Zapdos is ideal. Plus it has Heat Wave, really nice move overall. It does have the Acrobatics. I didn't see it coming, but I do resist the Flash Cannon very nicely. Put the Magnezone to sleep. And the biggest threat to my team, because of that Magnet Pole and the Steel attacks, are gone, so I'm not feeling too threatened at this point, but you know, you never know. So I'm going to go ahead Heat Wave, and like I said, I don't feel too threatened at this point, so I can take out the Magnezone with an easy Earth Power and just be able to deal with this thing. I mean, Sceptile might have the Earthquake, but I doubt it, so I forgot about the Leaf Blade. Whoops. Oh well. So I do lose Diancie in a really kind of a stupid play, but Heat Wave easily takes out the last of his Mons as well. And so we're looking okay. I should have just protected. I would have had Diancie. Would have been a nice check to this Tauros, but regardless. Speaking of Tauros, it comes in, and I need to deal with this thing, and apparently my phone's going to go off. But regardless, Stone Edge hits. It's super effective. It hurts, of course. But I do get the Tailwind up, which is really nice, and I wanted to put Altaria to sleep. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. But now I do need to pull a few tricky moves. He does actually go for the Amoonguss, though, so that means my Zapdos gets the recover off. I guess he was predicting me to be faster, but it's not the case. So Roost goes off, Altaria is now asleep, and Amoonguss is really still important, so I'm going to need to deal with that, but I do decide to let Zapdos possibly take a hit or roost off. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to roost. Annoying, but I was kind of hoping maybe he would go for the Amoonguss, but he played that very nicely, and so I'm going to bring Hitmonchan in. He also decides to play this pretty nicely by going into Jellicent. It's immune, and I'm actually toting Ice Punch on this thing as well, but Sludge Bomb is it's an opportune moment to do that, just to get the Altaria weakened. My Tailwind unfortunately peters out, but I know a Will-O-Wisp is incoming, so I need to burn this thing. And I wanted to get a Sludge Bomb off, kill the Mega Altaria, but Registeel comes in and takes care of that, no problem. At this point, I do need to switch Hitmonchan out, and I do predict another Will-O-Wisp, but I do decide to go to Heatran. He does predict my Drain Punch, I'm guessing, so he does protect there, but Heatran really does serve both purposes with a Heat Wave and stuff. But now I can go into Jellicent, no problem. Heat Wave, do some nice damage. This thing's got to be specially defensive by how little that was. This is a modest Heat Wave, so Ice Punch, that's a critical hit. I don't care. But at this range, it's an easy kill for Registeel. But at the same time, I really don't want Hitmonchan taking a burn. So let's see what I do. I think I just decide, you know what, I don't care if I get burned. Yeah, I decided, you know what, I don't care if I get burned as long as I'm getting some damage off. At this point, that's all I need to do because his main Pokemon are weakened. Ice Punch will take out the Altaria, and Amoonguss is going to threaten with the Spore, and he knows he can either burn the Hitmonchan or get Toxic in this case. I think he probably played the better play by doing so, because now it's forcing me to switch. I decide going back to Heatran, I resist his normal stab, and I can threaten with all sorts of things. Speaking of the normal stab, in comes Double Edge. It does hit pretty nicely, but it's not enough. Drain Punch puts Tauros in a really revengeable range, and a Mach Punch afterwards would be able to take it out no problem. But I decide I'm going to go ahead and hard switch the Heatran out. He's not going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. He might Scald, but I don't think he will because of the Hitmonchan. Apparently he does Scald though, so that was annoying. But regardless, at this range, it's pretty much game for me. All I have to do is knock off the Jellicent just to get rid of its residual recovery, do super effective damage. And it doesn't even have residual. It has the Colbor Berry, which I don't even know what that's for. I think it's for grass, maybe? Maybe. But regardless, at this range, I don't care if I take an Earthquake. I can take it okay, and then Earthquake and take them both out, and that will be the game. A 4-0, so that's the best match we've had so far. Not too bad, and I actually managed to keep up with normal speed, so that was nice too. But regardless, round 4, the Nebraska Noiverns do take week 3 with 4 Mons left, and yeah, that means we're still in second place, so kudos to us. Awesome. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next IPL match. Later.